More than 450 people died in England just last year, Fiona, waiting for an organ to be donated. Clearly, it is a big problem.
It is a big problem, and every single day while we speak, more people are dying. There are 3 people a day dying, waiting for that precious life-transforming transplant.
And Oren, one of those people was your son. He had leukemia, so initially needed a bone marrow transplant,
right.
But towards the end needed more than that.
Yes, he successfully got a bone marrow transplant and then needed blood as part of his treatment. But 9 years ago, almost to the day we speak, we sadly lost him at the age of 21 to multiple organ failure. And myself and my wife and the whole family were queuing up to be tested, but his body was too weak. But it's symbolic of the need, especially from ethnic minorities, to have people on standby carrying an organ donor card to say, look, I want to be there.
Clearly, it's important for certain groups of people, all of us really. We can't talk about that specifically now, but what you do want to talk about is getting rid of that card, actually, because everyone should be presumed, if this consultation goes the way you want it to, should be presumed to be an available donor.
Well, that's right, unless they choose to opt out, which of course is their absolute right to do, and that's what they've done in Wales. They've introduced that recently as well. So very, very welcome today's announcement.
Yeah, I'd like to talk about what's happening in Wales, because it's quite early days in that scheme where you can opt in still, you can opt out, or families can say if someone has died, they don't want their organs to be donated. And it's not entirely clear how successful it's been so far, Fiona.
So what they brought in Wales is a soft opt-out system where families can indeed make an override there. But December 2015 was when that brought in. So as you say, it'll be 2 years soon. But what we found in Wales has been that I think the Welsh Government expected 10% of people to choose to opt out during that time, yet only 6% have done so. So the results are very encouraging. There's a lot of study work going on there. And actually, what we can do now is we can learn from the Welsh experience and bring that to play in England as well, so we can benefit that way.
Something similar to Wales has been brought in Scotland. It was being discussed in Northern Ireland before the changes happened at Stormont there. What I'd like to ask you, Oren, though, is would you prefer to see a hard opt-out system? Now, for those who don't realise, it happens in countries like Austria and Israel, for example, where unless you have said when you're alive, I don't want to be part of this, it's assumed you will donate, regardless of what your family says.
I think your family has a right to as part of the decision, but I think that the discussion now has to take place. There's a lot of apathy, and lives matter, and so we are losing too many lives, too many funerals. So I think now we have to have some sort of hard decisions being made, this consultation to take place, and for communities, especially the BAME communities, to really step up to the challenge.
Do you know, and in hearing that, in just keeping the topic of organ donation there at the top of the news agenda, do you assume people are just going to opt in the meantime anyway?
You assume people assume that, but actually the reality is, if it doesn't affect me, then it's not my problem. Now with an opt-out system, you suddenly have that debate, that consultation. People have to start to talk about it, and hopefully now something really tangible will take place and lives will be saved.
It clearly is something that could affect everybody, actually. I'm afraid we're out of time, Fiona, but thank you so much for coming in.
Fantastic, welcome news for everybody, and we really do hope that it brings forward more donors and more transplants.
Appreciate it.
It saved lives.
Oren, many thanks to you as well.
Thank you.